How can you create a hidden interior in Blender? Hey, welcome to my new video. Today I will not only show you how to make this kind of invisible interior trick in Blender, but I will also show you the full process of creating this iconic Star Wars scene from scratch, including the sketch and ideation, full modeling, texturing, lighting, and setting up the scene. I always start my process by gathering the references and creating a sketch so I know what I'm going to create in Blender. And with this scene, I wanted to kick off the year with iconic Star Wars scene, and this one was a little bit challenging because if you look at the references, there's not really much going on in the scene. The ship interior is quite clean. There are some iconic things, like the greeble on the walls and some control panels, but generally this is really bright white scene, and I knew this will be a little bit difficult to pull off. So I prepared the sketch accordingly. I didn't include the droids because I felt unnecessary to just, spend some time sketching them in because the important thing was the interior and how I'm going to do the composition. And as you can see, I went for like a few iconic things, and I decided to do like this hidden interior thing where the interior continues here, but on the outside it's not visible. And that would allow me to include all the things like the greeble, the large empty floor, and the door here. So in Blender, I wanted to start with the droids first, and I had the R2D2 modeled from the last year, so I only needed to make the C3PO. I just follow my standard character design pattern that I teach also in my courses. So only thing I had to take care of was some of the specific things on the C3PO. If you look closer, basically, if I tab in, this is basic subdivision modeling, but I had to be careful and adjust the topology to follow some of the special quirks of C3PO, like for example this part here, and specifically how the mesh kind of turns into this circular thing on his stomach. So other than that, pretty standard subdivision modeling techniques, and I didn't linger on too much on the details because I knew this will be visible from this kind of perspective, from this kind of distance, and I knew what kind of level of detail will be needed, so I didn't linger on like too many specific details. If you look really closer, you can see the hands are really simple, and basically there are just few simple tricks and few simple extrusions around his body to create an illusion of a detail. But other than that, this is pretty simple model and works well with the R2D2 as well, because as you can see, the R2 is quite low poly as well. So that was modeling the droids, and the moment I had them ready, I could go on and block out the room according to sketch. If you just started Blender and you want to understand the basics, check out my free starter course. You just sign up on my website. It's 100% free and it takes 1 to 2 hours to complete. And here you can see the finished room, and as you can see, there's quite a lot going on beyond the standard layout because I wanted the camera to kind of dolly from left to right. So if you turn it like this, you would see that the door in the back would be visible, and same here. So I really needed to include all of this and then figure out the way how to hide it in final render. And the process of making the room was actually pretty straightforward. I first just blocked out the important parts like the pillars, the door opening, the floors, and then went in and refined the details on the doors and added different panels. And again, if you look up close, these panels and all of these details are really simple models, but from afar with a little bit of texture, I knew that this will look great and will add great detail into the scene. And now the main thing, I had to figure out how to hide this interior from render. There's a simple trick that I use all the time when I need to do something like this. There are two ways you can approach something like that. You can also use portals, but that's not suitable for this kind of use case. So I went for render layers approach, and I will now show you in detail how it's done. So with this kind of scene ready, if you look here in my outliner, I have multiple collections of objects, so I can just hide the characters if I want. And I had to figure out a way how to split certain parts into different collections so I can switch between different modes. So if I hide the A collection right here, you can see this is all that is left. Everything that's visible here is included in the frame collection because that's the one I will be using in all of the render layers. If I disable that, you can see everything's gone. So that's the A version, and then there's the B version that kind of only includes the floors, and have these blockers right here. So I have a complete closed scene, and then I have the background, the BG collection that basically just includes this large plane underneath. So the A and B are most important because I have now two modes. This is the most simple one that I can use to render out the background. So if I go into the camera view, you can see this is all that is visible there. And if I switch to the rendered view, this is basically the result of this kind of layer configuration. Now, if I turn off B and enable A, this is like a complete interior scene. And let me enable lights here as well. There are certain lights that are only present in the A, basically that light up this hidden interior. So that's why they are included right here underneath the A collection. And the next thing I needed to do was prepare some render settings. So here in my render properties, if you scroll down, you have the film settings right here, and you can enable transparent rendering. So if I now hide the background, you can see this is transparent. If I disable this, there will be some, background color. So with the transparent on, I can just disable the A and enable B, and this will give me the perfect shape to create a mask for this kind of transition. And the way you go about this is using the render layers, and that's the setting right here all the way on the top, where you have your Blender scene and you also have your render layers, and you can have multiple of those. And what that will allow you to do, you can see now, this one is called room, and I have frame and I have background. Now I will switch the room into its configuration, so it's A on and B off and background on. So, and of course there's some effects layer that will add fog and some more additional lights, so I can turn that on as well. Now that's the room layer, and if you want to create a new one, you just click here and you can choose to copy settings. They will just duplicate your layer. So I did exactly that and created this other frame layer. And if I switch there, you can see right away the FX needs to be off here because it would overlay the transparency. So I will disable it here. And now you can see the A is off here and B is on. So I can just create different collection visibility configuration for different layers. So here, this will be the mask, and then I have the third one with only the background, which is basically everything turned on except the A collection, which basically gives me the background and the lights react to background. Now, if I expand the window here and go to the compositor, that's where the rest of the magic will happen. And this is the simple configuration. There's nothing really to it too much. And basically you just use the render layers node, duplicate it several times, and then here I pick the room, here's the frame, and here's the background. And I'm using the alpha over node, so you just press Shift A and search for the node you want to include. And then I'm using the BG layer for the background, the room, the main layer I'm using for the foreground, and then I have the frame, which, as you know, is this one. And that will basically just produce this alpha channel all around, and I'm using its alpha channel to plug into Factor. And now you will see exactly what will happen when I render this. So let me just modify the samples. It's 256, which is okay. So let me go to the rendering and let me press F12. So the Blender will do all of the layers. You can see now the first layer is rendering. And when it finishes, it just jumps and creates the other one. Now you can see it creates this transparent frame and then the background. And finally, the compositor will kick in and combine them and basically create this kind of result where I have the background, I have the foreground, and that one frame layer that will mask out the background and the foreground image. And that's all there is to it. So only disadvantage of this technique is that you have to render this 3 times. So for each frame you're basically rendering 3 times plus the compositor. So to create an animation that dollies around takes a little bit more time, but really effective technique, and the result is amazing. You have this kind of isolated diorama, but then when it rotates you kind of see that there's interior that goes on inside, there's different lighting in there, and there's also a light coming out of there. So I really love this technique, and I'm using a lot whenever I need to add some more depth to a scene like this. And then finally, when it comes to materials, it's pretty simple here. Most of the walls are basically just a glossy white surface, so I had to take care mostly of C3PO and, for example, the floor, and I'm using the grunge maps from the Fluent Materializer add-on, so it's completely procedural. There's not one image texture in the scene. And then for some lighting effects, for example, here in the background, since the scene is so white, there are these black panels with red glowing lights, and if you really go closer, that's basically a mesh that's inserted into a translucent black plate. And as I go deeper, you can see it disappears. So I need to be really careful about this, but that's actually how something like this can be created. And you can see from afar, it looks really great. It's definitely much better than if you would just assign some emission to some of the faces. And other than that, there are quite a lot of lights in the scene because I wanted these lights coming from the opening here to enforce the depth of that hidden interior. So if I hide this, you can see this is quite bland and empty. So if I enable it, there's quite a lot of light that floods the scene from this side and from the door. And same thing here, there's another light here that comes from the side here. And there's also another function of this light, because if I move it away from the wall here, this would feel quite flat, but the way I left it really close to the wall here, it kind of lets these greebles to stand out, and it creates these, you know, more sophisticated shadows there and really adds a lot of depth. Now there's one spotlight here in the front because I was kind of struggling with lighting the characters. If I hide the light, you can see this becomes a little bit more flat. There's not much to see on the C3PO there. So really soft focused spotlight is something that can add a little bit more visibility to your hero characters or, you know, hero assets, and add more reflections here on the side without overblowing the scene and affecting the rest of the scene too much. And then finally I created an empty here in the scene and parented the camera to it and animated the empty, so it kind of just rotates back and forth and creates this movement. And now you can see how much of that interior is visible from different angles, and then it kind of just disappears beyond this mask. So the effect in motion is even more strong and even more present, and I really love this kind of hidden interior movement. So that's it. That's for my first animation of 2026, and I think I'm gonna make a tradition out of this. I think I will start the next year with Star Wars themed content as well, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan since I was a kid. It's basically one of the main franchises that formed my love towards movies and games. So yeah, I will be definitely making more, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. And again, if you did, please leave that like, and if you're new around here and want to see more like this, hit that subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you a successful year ahead.